When you're over 60, every step you take feels like an investment in your future. Some mornings, getting out of bed feels easy, and other days, it feels as though your legs are made of stone. You try to stand tall, but the muscles don't respond the way they used to. If you've ever felt that slow decline in your strength, if you've noticed climbing the stairs isn't as smooth as it once was, then this message is for you. Because the truth is, after 60, our bodies do change, but that doesn't mean we lose our strength forever. In fact, today I want to show you something simple, something as comforting as a warm cup of tea that can help you rebuild muscle and walk strong again. Let me start with the story of one of my patients, Harold. Harold is 72, a retired school teacher, and like many of you, he used to love long morning walks with his wife. But then, his knees began to hurt, his legs felt heavy, and the walks became shorter. Before long, he avoided them altogether. He told me, "Doc, I feel like I'm fading away. My legs just aren't what they used to be." Harold wasn't alone in that feeling. Many men and women over 60 feel their muscle strength slipping, and they wonder if it's just part of aging. But what I shared with Harold, and what I'm going to share with you today, gave him hope and helped him get back to those morning walks, smiling, strong, and steady. For those who don't know me, my name is Dr. Nolan Easton. I've been working as a men's health specialist for over 30 years, though I always say my work goes beyond just men. I work with countless women too, because the truth is, the challenges of aging, weak muscles, fragile bones, low energy, don't discriminate. Over the decades, I've seen firsthand how small, daily choices can either pull you down or lift you back up. And that's why I love teaching about simple habits that can change lives. Something as ordinary as tea, when chosen carefully, can be extraordinary for your health. Now, before you shake your head and think, "Tea? Really, doctor?" Let me tell you why. Muscle strength doesn't just depend on exercise. It depends on circulation, inflammation levels, and how your body processes nutrients. And there are certain teas, steeped from leaves and roots that cultures have trusted for centuries, which naturally support those exact needs. The first tea I shared with Harold made such a difference that within 3 weeks, he reported feeling lighter on his feet. Not because of a miracle drug, but because of a natural ally that supported his muscles from the inside out. I want you to pause for a moment and think, what would stronger muscles mean for your life? Maybe it's walking confidently without fearing a fall. Maybe it's being able to lift your grandchild into your arms without struggling. Or maybe it's simply having the stamina to enjoy an afternoon at the park without needing to sit down every few minutes. These are not far-off dreams. They are within reach, and it starts with fueling your body with what it truly needs. If this message resonates with you already, I'd love for you to let me know. Go ahead and click the like button. It tells me that you're here, that you care about your health, and it helps this message reach more people like you. Also, make sure to subscribe and tap the little bell icon so you don't miss future conversations we'll share. And here's something important. Leave me a simple yes or no in the comments if you feel that building back muscle strength after 60 matters to you. I read those answers personally, because they guide me in shaping the advice I bring to you. Coming back to Harold, his story is what reminds me daily why these small changes matter so much. When he first began drinking the teas I suggested, he didn't notice much for the first few days. But gradually, his legs felt less stiff in the mornings. His walks lengthened again. First, 5 minutes longer, then 10. By the end of the first month, he and his wife were strolling the neighborhood for nearly an hour, just like they had years ago.
He told me, "Doc, it feels like my legs have woken up again." And that smile on his face, that renewed spark in his step, that's what I want for you too. You see, as we age, we lose muscle mass, naturally. It's something called sarcopenia, but I won't weigh you down with the scientific details. Just know this, while it's normal to lose some muscle, you are not powerless against it. In fact, there are natural ways to slow it down and even rebuild strength. Nutrition plays a key role, and here's where tea enters the picture, not as a replacement for food or movement, but as a powerful companion. Some teas are rich in plant compounds that reduce inflammation, improve circulation, and help your body recover from everyday wear and tear. And when muscles get better circulation and less inflammation, they naturally rebuild more easily. Think of it like this: your body is a garden. The muscles are like plants. If the soil is dry and cracked, even the best seeds won't grow. But if you water the soil and nourish it, growth happens naturally. These teas act like that water, preparing your body's soil so your muscles can thrive again. That's why I recommend them, not as a quick fix, but as a steady, daily support system. Harold isn't an isolated case. Over the years, I've seen many people rebuild strength with small, consistent habits. A woman named Margaret, 68 years old, told me she couldn't keep up with her grandchildren because her legs felt too weak. She added one of these teas into her daily routine, right alongside her morning prayer and breakfast. And within weeks, she noticed she could get down on the floor with the kids and stand back up without needing a hand. These moments matter. They bring back dignity, joy, and freedom to our later years. So, as we begin this conversation today, I want you to see this clearly. Rebuilding muscle and walking strong after 60 isn't about going to the gym for hours or pushing your body beyond its limits. It's about choosing small, gentle actions that support your health day after day. And one of the easiest and most comforting places to begin is right there in your kitchen with a warm cup of tea.
Now let me tell you something that surprises many of my patients. They often believe that strength only comes from lifting weights or spending hours in physical therapy. While movement is important, it's only part of the story. The other part lies in what you give your body on the inside. And this is where the right kind of tea becomes a silent, powerful helper. The first tea I often recommend is green tea. You've probably heard about it before, but maybe you don't know just how deeply it can affect your muscles, your energy, and even your ability to walk with confidence. Green tea is rich in something called catechins. These are natural plant compounds that work like little protectors inside your body. They reduce inflammation, they improve circulation, and they even support the way your body burns energy. All of this adds up to stronger, healthier muscles. When Harold started drinking green tea every morning, it wasn't just a new habit. It was a signal to his body that he was giving it the tools to rebuild. Within weeks, his legs felt less stiff, and he noticed he could climb stairs without gripping the railing so tightly. He didn't do anything dramatic. He didn't join a gym or push himself into exhausting routines. He simply added 2 cups of green tea into his day, and he was consistent. That consistency made all the difference. The beauty of green tea is that it's gentle. It's not harsh on the stomach, and it can be enjoyed warm or even cooled down if you prefer iced tea in the summer. I always tell my patients, think of it like watering your garden every day. One day may not show a change, but over time you will see growth you didn't think was possible. That's how green tea works. It's steady, quiet, but powerful. Now, I can almost hear some of you thinking, "Doctor, tea sounds nice, but at my age, is it really going to make such a difference?" I understand that doubt. I've heard it many times in my office. But here's the truth. Your body is always listening to what you give it. Even at 70, 75, or 80, your muscles are ready to respond. They may take a little longer, but with the right care, they can come alive again. Let me share another story with you.
Martha, one of my patients in her late 60s, had been struggling with leg cramps at night. It got so bad that she kept a walking stick by her bed to steady herself when she needed to get up. She began drinking green tea in the afternoons, just one simple cup, while reading her newspaper. Slowly, the cramps eased, her circulation improved, and within 2 months, she no longer needed the walking stick. She told me, "Dr. Easton, I feel younger, not because I look different, but because I can move without fear." That freedom meant the world to her. If you're watching this and you feel inspired, I want you to pause for a second and do something simple for me. Click the like button below this video. Not only does it encourage me to keep sharing these stories, but it also helps this message reach more people who might be struggling quietly, just like Harold or Martha were. And don't forget to subscribe and tap the bell icon so you never miss these conversations we have together. Most importantly, write a yes or a no in the comments if you believe small changes, like drinking tea, can really add up to big improvements. I read those answers and they guide me in what I share next. Now, while green tea is powerful, it's not the only one. There's another tea that I hold close to my heart when it comes to supporting muscle strength after 60. This one comes from a root rather than a leaf: ginger tea. Many of you may already use ginger in your cooking, but when steeped into a warm, fragrant tea, it becomes more than just flavor. Ginger is one of nature's most effective ways to fight inflammation. And inflammation, as I often explain, is like rust on your muscles and joints. It eats away at your strength, leaving you stiff and sore. When you drink ginger tea, you're essentially cleaning away some of that rust. You're giving your muscles and joints a smoother environment to move and rebuild in. Harold, after noticing success with green tea, added ginger tea in the evenings. He told me it was like a warm hug before bed. Within weeks, he reported not only stronger legs, but also easier sleep. Less pain meant more rest, and more rest gave his muscles time to recover. I remember Margaret, the grandmother I mentioned earlier. She had trouble keeping up with her grandchildren. When she began drinking ginger tea, she not only felt stronger, but also noticed that her knees didn't ache as much after playing with the kids. That gave her confidence. She said to me, "Doctor, I feel like I've been given a second chance to enjoy these years." Those words stayed with me because I know how precious it is to spend quality time with the people we love without pain holding us back. The key to both green and ginger tea is not to think of them as quick fixes. They are gentle companions working quietly in the background day after day. Over time, you'll notice the stiffness ease, your energy rise, and your steps become steadier. And it all starts with something as simple as filling your cup and giving your body the gift of these natural supports. I'll tell you this, every time Harold came into my office after starting his tea routine, his face looked brighter. It wasn't just his body that improved, it was his spirit. When you feel stronger, when you move with ease, it changes the way you see life. You wake up hopeful instead of fearful, ready instead of hesitant. And that, my friends, is priceless. As we sit together today, I want you to remember something important. Your body is resilient, even now. Age doesn't erase your ability to grow stronger. It simply asks you to give your body what it needs in a gentler, wiser way. We've already spoken about green tea and ginger tea, and how both can support your muscles and ease inflammation. Now, I'd like to introduce you to the third tea in this journey, one that many of you might not expect: hibiscus tea. Hibiscus tea is a beautiful deep red, tart in flavor, and soothing to drink either hot or cold. But beyond its taste, hibiscus has a powerful gift. It helps regulate blood pressure and improve circulation. And why does that matter for your muscles? Because circulation is like the river that feeds the land. Without steady blood flow, your muscles don't get enough oxygen or nutrients, and without those, they can't rebuild or stay strong. When circulation improves, it's like turning on a water supply that's been trickling for too long. Suddenly, your muscles are nourished again. Harold discovered this truth firsthand. After a month of green and ginger tea, he felt steadier, but his wife still noticed he tired easily on longer walks. That's when I recommended hibiscus tea. He began drinking it in the afternoons, often chilled with a slice of lemon. Within weeks, his stamina improved. He could walk not only around the block, but through the park, holding his wife's hand without needing to stop and rest every few minutes. He told me, "Doctor, it's like my legs finally have the fuel they've been craving." Hibiscus tea also carries another benefit. It supports heart health. And if your heart is strong, your muscles will always have the energy they need. After all, the heart is the pump that keeps everything alive and moving. Many of my patients, after adding hibiscus tea to their day, not only walk stronger, but also feel calmer, with steadier energy throughout the afternoon. Let me share a story of another patient, Robert. He was 75 when he came to see me, worried that his legs were giving up on him. He loved tending to his garden, but lately he found himself short of breath and weak after just 20 minutes outside. Robert began a simple routine: green tea in the morning, ginger tea in the evening, and hibiscus tea in the afternoon. After 2 months, he returned to my office with dirt under his fingernails and a smile on his face. "Doctor, it's like my legs finally have the energy they've been craving." I know some of you might be wondering, can just 3 teas really make this much difference? And my answer is yes, not because they are magical, but because they work with your body's natural design. They reduce inflammation, improve circulation, and give your muscles the environment they need to thrive. They are not replacements for nutritious food, gentle exercise, or restful sleep, but they are powerful companions on the path to strength and vitality. Think of it this way: your body is always speaking to you. When you feel stiff, it's your body asking for relief. When you feel weak, it's asking for nourishment. When you feel tired, it's asking for rest. These teas are one way of answering those calls gently and naturally. And the more consistently you answer, the more your body will thank you. I'd like to pause for a moment here and ask something from you. If what I've shared so far gives you hope, if you feel encouraged that strength and mobility are still within your reach, please take a second to like this video. It's such a small click, but it makes a world of difference in how far this message spreads. And don't forget to subscribe and tap the bell icon. That way you'll always know when I bring new advice to help you live stronger, healthier, and happier. Finally, let me know in the comments with a simple yes or no. Do you believe your body can still grow stronger after 60? I read those comments carefully because your answers shape the kind of guidance I bring to you. Now let's return to Harold for a moment. One of the most beautiful things he told me after adding hibiscus tea was this: "Doctor, I don't just walk better. I feel like my marriage has been given new life. My wife and I hold hands, laugh, and walk like we're young again." And that, my friends, is what true health is about. It's not just numbers on a chart or test results. It's about giving you back the freedom to live fully, to share moments with those you love, and to feel like yourself again. Margaret, too, found hibiscus tea to be a blessing. She had always loved gardening, much like Robert, but bending down and standing up became harder each year. With better circulation and reduced stiffness, she noticed she could once again tend to her flowers without feeling exhausted. She sent me a picture of her garden in full bloom, and at the bottom of the note she wrote, "Thank you for giving me back my joy." That simple sentence reminded me why I do what I do. The truth is, no one can stop the clock of aging, but what we can do is slow down its weight on our shoulders. We can walk with more strength, stand taller, and carry ourselves with dignity. And sometimes that journey begins with something as small as a cup of tea. Green tea, ginger tea, and hibiscus tea. Together, they form a trio that can restore strength, ease discomfort, and remind you that your body is still capable of wonderful things. As Harold's story shows, the changes don't always come all at once, but they do come. And when they do, they feel like a gift. Watching him stride into my office, shoulders back and eyes bright, I knew he had taken back more than just his steps. He had taken back his life. And I want that same gift for you. I'd like to bring everything we've talked about together, because I know for many of you, this isn't just about tea, it's about hope. It's about wondering, can I still feel strong again? Can I still walk without fear of falling? Can I still enjoy the little things in life without my body holding me back? And I want to tell you from the heart that the answer is yes. Green tea, ginger tea, and hibiscus tea, these are more than drinks. They are simple, natural tools that can help your body fight inflammation, improve circulation, and nourish your muscles. They are gentle, accessible, and comforting. But more importantly, they give you back a sense of control. Because when you choose to fill your cup with something that helps you heal, you are choosing to say, I still matter and my health is still worth protecting. Harold's journey is living proof. He went from dreading short walks to enjoying long strolls with his wife again. His face brightened, his steps steadied, and his spirit lifted. Margaret regained her ability to garden and laugh with her grandchildren. Robert found the energy to spend hours among his plants again. These are ordinary people, just like you, who made small, steady choices and saw extraordinary changes. I think often about something Harold told me on one of his last visits. He said, "Doctor, when I started, I didn't believe a cup of tea could change my life, but now every sip reminds me that I'm still alive, still strong, and still capable." Those words carried more wisdom than any medical textbook I've read in 30 years. Because in the end, health is not about chasing youth. It's about honoring the life you have now and making it as vibrant and fulfilling as possible. And isn't that what we all want? To walk without fear of falling? To stand without pain? To lift a grandchild, tend to a garden, or hold a loved one's hand without feeling weak? These teas are not magic potions, but they are allies, gentle companions on the path to strength, dignity, and freedom. If you've been with me through this whole conversation, I want to thank you. It tells me you care deeply about your health and that you're open to trying simple, natural steps that can make a big difference. Before we finish, let me ask you one more time. If this message touched your heart, click the like button now. It helps spread hope to others who might be silently struggling. And don't forget to subscribe and tap the bell icon. That way you'll always be part of these conversations we share together. And finally, let me know in the comments with a yes or a no. Do you believe you can rebuild strength after 60? Your answers matter more than you know because they help me shape the kind of guidance I bring to you in the future. So my friends, as we close, let me circle back to where we began. Remember Harold, standing by the stairs, gripping the railing, feeling as though his legs were made of stone? That man now walks freely through his neighborhood park, hand in hand with his wife, smiling at the sunlight. That transformation didn't come from anything complicated or expensive. It came from small, daily choices. And you can make those same choices. Every time you sip green tea, you're giving your muscles a protector. Every time you enjoy ginger tea, you're easing the inflammation that weighs you down. And every time you pour a cup of hibiscus tea, you're feeding your heart and circulation so your body can move freely. Step by step, sip by sip, you are rebuilding strength, renewing vitality, and reclaiming joy. So tonight when you sit down to enjoy your tea, I hope you feel encouraged, not because the tea itself is magical, but because you're reminding yourself that life is not over at 60, 70, or even 80. You still have strength to gain, memories to make, and walks to enjoy. And I'll be right here, cheering you on, every step of the way. This is Dr. Nolan Easton, thanking you for spending this time with me. Stay strong, stay hopeful,